Okay, so we're going to do a new session today. It is Friday. It is the 18th of April 2025. It is around 10:20 in the morning, 10:05 in my clock on the CCTV. We're at postcode 560077. So, what is it that we'll do today? First, what we will do is we will take the blessings of Ganesh ji, then Shirdi Sai Baba, then Shivji, then Shaniji, then Hanuman, then Ram, Sita, Lakshman, and Hanuman, that's Vishnu, then Krishna, and finally Gaumata, so that they bless us completely. And give us guidance. Okay, so we can think appropriately. Now, I will first share my experience with you. Before I share my experience with you, I want to tell the bloody fool who keeps talking in my ears when I am sleeping. I don't want to give you bad words, but I find you very stupid for most part of it. अब भगवान सामने है, उसी के सामने तुमको एक कन्फेशन करते हैं. Have you seen the teacher take a chalk and hit a child with wide eyes open, sitting in his school uniform in the classroom? Teacher is teaching something, bachcha is sitting in the classroom. Teacher realizes that the bachcha is so fully dressed, come to school, sitting also with school bag, book open, amongst the 40, 50 in the class room. Suddenly the teacher gets angry and takes a chalk and hits the child from far away. A duster on the side of the baby to wake the baby up. Sometimes it's a teenager also. That teenager then tells whoever the student is, can you say what I just said? Can you repeat what I said? Can you answer what I said? And that child is floundering because the child was actually not listening with eyes wide open. Now that is the state that the child generally is in the case it's not listening. In my case, when I am sleeping, there are chances that I am not actually over here. I travel wherever I am supposed to go, possibly to my home or wherever I am called in the spirit realms while in deep sleep. Chances are I am not here. So don't waste your time trying to disturb my sleep simply because what you say goes entirely over my head. I got another unplanned agenda that happens. I cannot understand what you say. More important than that, when I'm the one speaking to you, recording things on a camera, you don't seem to understand what I'm saying openly. So with my eyes shut, that also night time, chances are I'm not even here. I do travel in my sleep, not all the time, but there are times when I come back, I have a different take on something new, which going forward I will share with you. So when wide open eyes, you are hearing, not understanding. The child is in a classroom, not understanding and not present, but present. For to expect me in my sleep to be present hearing the rubbish you talk and to make sense of it while I am sleeping is you being highly uneducated. Yet again, lacking competency and common sense. Okay? Take cognizance of that. बेवकूफ अब क्या करे? Now anyway, what was the dream I had? I dreamt I am traveling. For whatever reason, I am waiting, and I am waiting to catch a flight. I don't know where I am going. Then I am also waiting to go to a hospital room somewhere, but I don't know the room number. I am looking for Varsha, but Varsha is in front of me, and Varsha is calling the shots. Anita is also over there, but there is another Anita also in the hospital room. Yet no information is being shared by whoever it is to me, and I am just waiting. Kanaya also is in my dream, and I am waiting. So, we're supposed to move as a group of people. Nobody really goes with me. I am going to some room. It is a maze. It's actually a maze. It's a labyrinth. Understanding तो है ही नहीं कि हम where am I going? What purpose am I going? I am looking for my sister. I am seeing my sister and my mother, but they are not my sister and my mother. They are left behind. They are still on the ground, left behind. I am traveling with some other passengers, yet all of them are all question marks, just the way I am a question mark. Even they are wondering where they are going. I am also wondering where I am going. They don't know where they are going. I don't know where I am going. Yet we are traveling together. We are all looking for our relatives, some who are hospitalized. Now which room, which hospital also we don't know. Yet we are on that hunt. And to be transported to the next level, and there is an elevator also that has to take us. That elevator also gets like kind of stalled for some time because there are more people coming in and there is confusion as to where we're supposed to go. We don't see the hospital. We're not in the hospital environment. We're just assuming that whoever we're going to meet is laid up in the hospital. There is a mother, there is a daughter. Yet I see the face of my mom and the face of my sister left behind somewhere, but that's not my mother and that's not my sister. So there's plenty of confusion in this dream. Anyway, I came out of my sleep in the morning at around 8:10 and the idiot is talking some shit. बोलूँ पता नहीं ये क्या बक रही है और हमने क्या देखा है. Leave it. Then we have moved on and we came to Travel Genie somewhere along the way, a place I have worked at with a man called Mr. Anak Desai. I was the executive assistant to him. I got that job in a place or online, and it was from a website called Naukri.com. The year when I have worked in that company was 2003 to about, I think, March, April, May sometime of 2004. While working for that company, I had gone to Vaishno Devi. When I returned from Vaishno Devi, I left the job. Now, you know what happened? Anak Desai was the CEO. He lived in a building where this very big photographer and videographer, Dabu Ratnani, used to live in his building. They were friends also. Dabu Ratnani is a very well-known name in Bollywood. And maybe in the other Tollywood, Mollywood, Gollywood, whatever there is in other states too, his work is very good. So all the top stars actually, he does their portfolios or their videography, whether it's to be published in calendars, whether it's to be published in magazines. Somehow he's very good when he does what he does. He is very highly paid. The problem with this, let's hope Travel Genie was not a shell company. It had the same problems as Indian online broadband. its connect to the film industry, without saying almost was. Let's hope Anak Desai, who at times was not well behaved, was not actually a stand-in for the real Anak Desai. Let's hope Travel Genie was not a shell company set up to keep an eye on the who's travel because of their access to the systems, as well as their access to many places around the world when it comes to travel. Hotels, tour packages. This company becomes a question because in Indian online broadband, the similar style of working is what was first at Travel Genie. Now, Anak Desai is a well-known name in his industry, but he would have travelled a lot. The Anak Desai with no manners as the CEO of Travel Genie is the big question mark. It is at this company I was told that Umesh is a peon, but Umesh Hingorani, my cousin, is the director with lots of shares and the son of Ritu Malia, married to S.M. Krishna's daughter. How can he be a peon? Yet that was 2003 and 4, today is 2025. Yesterday, day before, we've got that the same shapeshifter who shapeshifted for Umesh Hingorani shapeshifted for NTR too. And this bugger has come to my home and shapeshifted as JAYA.ADVANI too. And that version of JAYA.ADVANI says he doesn't like people playing bells on him and treating him like a peon. My question to that version of Mr. JAYA.ADVANI: were you actually a clerk peon either in a Udupi restaurant or then in some nationalized bank? And are you that who shapeshifted for my father, Mr. JAYA.ADVANI, NTR, as well as Umesh Hingorani? And what is the then status of Travel Genie, who are the first people to call Umesh the peon in 2003-2004? This company and everybody who worked in that company needs to be checked very, very, very minutely. Amongst them, there must be a miscreant. This Travel Genie and whatever it is worth, every business deal of theirs has to be looked at very carefully. Let's hope it was not a shell company to trace travel via the systems so that it could follow through its own agenda connected with very different activity from what it was projecting it does. Not only that, given that the real Anak Desai's property was below or above Dabu Ratnani, and people who go in for their shoots, all the biggest stars, will talk about their travel plans because in a shoot you are waiting. You're getting dressed, you're getting your makeup, you're getting your hairdo. Then to loosen you up, small talk is expected. Travel plans, your home plans, it's a friendly environment. You can check from other people how it happens. I have no clue. I'm just guessing. But in that, your travel plans are discussed. Your personal matters are discussed. If Anak Desai, the original, was pulled off the grid and somebody else was plugged into his home, at Travel Genie though he's got bugs all around the office, along with, I'm told he watches every desk very closely on a CCTV camera, the way Siddharth Srivastav in IOL was always doing. In Siddharth Srivastav's case, he had 2-3 big screen TVs where we have never seen those large screen TVs. They could be about, I don't know, very huge. We've though never seen it. This, what I've got, 55-inch TV or 50-inch TV, also small. These were actually big. really big stuff. So while Anand Desai didn't have those kind of TVs, I was told his ear was always plugged at every desk. He knew exactly everything that was happening in that small office. वो हमेशा स्पाई करता रहता है लोगों के बात पे. That's another thing that is common between Indian online broadband and Travel Genie. Travel Genie is an entire building in those days. Ground floor is the tour packages, MICE. नीचे जो करते हैं हमारे लेवल पे आई सपोज मार्केटिंग एंड एग्जीक्यूटिव असिस्टेंट एंड द CEO एंड अकाउंटिंग. ऊपर जो है एक कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम दूसरे लेवल पे मीटिंग्स के लिए, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट, एंड द पैंट्री, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट. सो दीज वर द 3 levels. You need to look at it because there are too many overlaps or similarity. If this guy was plugging the office, then was he plugging did he get a chance to plug Dabu Ratnani's place also? And within so many meters you're able to hear everything. Was that recording happening all the time? So he's keeping a track of all the stars' movements. Now the problem with the stars and all the eminent personalities and keeping track of their movement, and given that I was telling you there are many people who've been pulled off the grid and replaced, was this one small outfit. Now this entire thing happened unexpectedly. I don't know where it came from, not sure. Yet this was the revelation that came to me on the back of what I dreamt. There is no connect, and yet there is every connect. So people like Huri or deep voice Madder, bakwas mat kar. You belong to the side of people who grab things that are not theirs. You are not my Varsha. With you is some version of Arti Arta who has also helped you. You have rear-doored entry ghussified into my setup. Then as you are and these unhealthy outfits have been grabbing stuff, in India you have hired the poor to do your job. Ghus ke, Bharti last time. You dare to call me names while you have eaten resources of mine. तुमको क्या लगता है? You are habitually in the habit of grabbing things earned by other people. You must remember one thing, the Pakistan issue. When Hindustan got divided into Pakistan and India, on the back of the slaughtering, open slaughtering, not the mice kind of slaughtering, the way Modi government ने बोला है घर में घुस के मारेंगे, not that style connected with domestic help category of people who for last 20 years घर में घुस के ऊपर नीचे करके लोगों को मार के replicate किया है और सोचते हैं they're very smart, not that style. So let's go back to 1946, 1947, when Hindustan was divided into Pakistan and India. Because there was mass slaughtering, people just left what they had and came away to what went on to become India. Because the understanding is so poor, those left on the Pakistan side of the border, they started eating blood money. Then you see their progress. The ones who came away to India had to restart life. You saw the progress in India. Now that same lot that ate blood money and got some help in the older days from the Americans, then that also dried up. So then they still have to sustain themselves. So they started a new tactic, infiltrating India. But meanwhile they still have to fill their fat stomachs. So they went and created problems in Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. But you saw the progress that has happened everywhere. Now based on that, there are plenty of people who have earned their place in India, who have left India and will be leaving India. The way it happened in the Hindustan divide of Pakistan and India. So what India will get left behind with? Modi thinks he's damn smart. His name is here. He thinks he's damn smart, except he's not Narendra Damodar Das Modi. These are his shapeshifters. So they want people to leave India and leave behind their assets because they think then they will go and live over there. Many of them have already killed many people, replicated them and gone and stayed in their houses. सच्चाई है. इतने फैमिलीज को इसने तोड़ा है, बेशरम ही है, लेकिन स्टाइल तो वही है जो हिंदुस्तान टाइम पाकिस्तान और इंडिया जो बना था, लेकिन चूहा क्लास बन के अलग तरीके से मैसेकर किया है. And he doesn't mind because he thinks he's grabbing assets, and those grabbed assets are going to serve him and he's going to stay prosperous. He feels he has done the setting to save him and his biradri of stealers for the long haul. I'm just saying Pakistan is a better example of how prosperous you get on bad karma and on the back of bad karma. If what has been told to you people before, in 2017, without knowing where it is coming from, the worstest slums on earth today is a king's paradise compared to where you are going to end up, then you better take it very, very seriously, because somehow whoever is giving me the information based on what they know you have done, and it goes back into the history and historically what you've done, the manner in which you have screwed everyone over, only to grab stuff you are incapable of earning yourself. Different filthy games, different times, outcomes the same, which is you grab on the back of a lot of filth. लेकिन उसका जो seeds जो है, जो तू सो करता है, उसका prosperity कितना होता है, you are still not understood it because I guess your brains just don't function. And those who get stolen from, wherever they go, how they manage to prosper yet once again, that also you haven't understood. ये बेल जो है तू खुद के लिए रख. नसीब तुमको इतना बजाने वाला है नर्क पे. तुमको मसाज होगा जैसे इंडियन ट्रेन विजय बाला बोलता था ना, लोकल ट्रेन का वो जो एवरीवन हैंगिंग आउट ऑफ इट, फ्री मसाज एंड गुड पर्सपिरेशन स्मेल. लेकिन अब तुमको अद्वैत रह के वो काला लोका में, जो तुम्हारा हृदय इतना काला है, तुमको वहाँ पे रहना पड़ेगा फॉर द लॉन्ग हॉल, 1 to 10 kalpas on your earnings only. You make sense of what I have told you. You're going to be as prosperous and better prosperity, क्योंकि अब तूने घटियापन को और भी बढ़ाया चढ़ाया है compared to 46-47. The spoils that you have and the amount you have stolen, the amount of lies you have said since 47-48 in a state of desperation, there is unginnat, there is no counting for it. The poor seeds sown by you. But a small little example is the prosperity of Pakistan. For eating blood money, slaughtering those who had to leave everything behind, give them their assets and move to new land and restart life. Now you compare what was grabbed and how prosperous that is, and those who left everything behind and restarted life in a new land, how prosperous they got. तो नसीब जो है, जो घटियापन और घटिया कर्म करे, नसीब उसको कभी सपोर्ट नहीं कर सकता है. वो जो ब्रह्मांड है कंपेयर टू दी अर्थ, इट इज़ टू ह्यूज. वहाँ पे भी 60% आर लिटरल. हाउ दे कैन अलाउ their lit realm to be a lit realm, the rules and regulations that require to be followed, how they can allow that to be just spent out like water, and that also on dark souls like you? How they can allow it? They can't allow it. तो मज़ा अभी तक शुरू नहीं हुआ है, तो थोड़ा आगे के लिए ठहरो. You will come to know everything. But this small little secret had to be shared with you. You understood? और अगर तू आईज वाइड ओपन बकवास करता रहता हमारे फैन से, बोले हाइडिंग ऑल द टाइम, इफ यू स्टिल डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई हैव टोल्ड यू, Then how you expect me to understand when I'm sleeping the crap you speak? Kya ho rahi? Matter. You're so full of shit. It's actually sad. Hearing the desperation and the desperate deep voice talking. भक्ति रहती है. I just open my eyes. I said, बकवास क्या कर रही है? तुमको बात करना है, फेस टू फेस आके बात करना, हॉर्सी. I don't understand what you want. You come here and talk because otherwise I can't hear. I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sleeping. You can't understand when my eyes are wide open, your eyes are wide open. The child in the class can't understand. Then in sleep state, how I'll understand? You should use your brains little. Don't waste time. Playing stupid sounds doesn't make a difference to me. You are being stupid. That's all. Now I don't know Modi Mr. Rat or Modi M Rat, Daja X, Ma Rat. So whatever I told you about this, Daja means a treasure. Rat is Kabir Gupta, mother of Kabir Gupta. Modi is Modi Street. So I'm just saying, Madder, who shapeshifted and was learning, she's a Keralite. She was learning how to, all the cake names. She has not been born into wealth. उसने बहुत हार्ड वर्क किया है टू लुक वेल्दी. एक बच्चा जैसे हम हैं. I'm going to preschool. I'm failing my exam. I'm not even in preschool actually. I'm in play school. Shellams. So to bribe me, and no, I'm not going to Taj's, La Patisserie, whatever it is. It's ages since I've been there. Frankly telling you. But let's just say my mom's taking me to RTI. Ratan Tata Institute का वो जो एक केक शॉप है, you get Parsi food also over there. So to bribe me is what the word is. To make me, just do what she wants me to do. She has spent her whole year dumping stuff into my brains, teaching me, not letting me watch movies, not allowing me to have Coca-Cola, not allowing me to have sweets, not allowing me to have chocolate, stuffing, very, very hygienic and balanced meals. Breakfast से लेके डिनर से लेके लंच, स्नैक, दूध बोलूँ पता नहीं. Really, I say when it came to our food, she was like Hitler. Very, very, very strict. तो इतना कुछ पूरा साल करके full year she is really investing so that we get into good school. I get into good school. Now even then we are flunking the exam primarily because we are scared of the principal in her nun habit and all that, and one tube light on and doors all closed, my mother outside. It's a big hall. The hall would be 2 times the size, I think, of this full apartment of mine, simply because they take classes of 2 divisions, or if not double the size of this, it would be this size plus half more of this, in and around that, because they take 2 divisions and they have a play area and they have a place where they make us sit on the baby chairs and all and play with plasticine and do painting and all that, and plus they have 2 class sessions, and it's and then all the toys and all of that. That is our pre-KG. So over there the interview is, now if my mom, that's not the point. The point is, as a baby, my exposure is to BCA club, NSCI club, CCI club. My exposure is to whatever my mother is feeding me. If she wants to bribe me so that I talk and don't get scared of the principal, she's feeding me cake and saying, I'll give you more of this, but you please tell, when I'm asking you in the house, though you're giving all the answers. I really want you to get into this school. You have already failed the cathedral school exam. You're not got admission there. Your papa also has tried as much as he could, but you're not getting through. So at least here you do. Then as treats, we get things, right? They're traveling also on the weekends. We're going to Frederick's Hotel. We're going to Shani Holiday Home. Depends where we're going. We're going to Nasik. We're going to different places. My mom likes traveling a lot. So they take off on the weekends. Our exposure is there from birth. I don't need to actually go to any place. If I go to Europe, which I've never been, and I haven't had the Mediterranean food, I'm not exposed to it, then obviously I will ponder over the menu, ponder over their food a little more. Today though we get everything on the internet, so maybe study it before reaching there. But let's say I didn't have the internet to know what Mediterranean food is, I would be the fool trying to figure out in the new place, new dishes, and I can't even, if it is French food, obviously my French is not good, I will mispronounce it. So the girl who has come to Bombay from Kerala had the same problems. But I, who have been born and brought up in Bombay, don't have those problems, because from the youngest age, I've been exposed to everything connected with the city life of Bombay, and more so only South Bombay, so it's different. This girl called Madder, who went to Modi Street and something close to Modi Street, where she is trying to update herself about something in the cake shop, a very high-end cake shop, and she's very excited about seeing all the cakes. If I saw those cakes, I don't think I'd be excited. She's very excited, simply because she is probably from a smaller town, and at some point in time, the way somebody from her Baradri, which means her community, who could have been working initially as a peon either in an Udupi restaurant or then in a nationalized Indian bank, like old school, so where they play, that ting ting sound that the Udupi restaurant plays. They have a different system. I don't know, they still have it. In the olden days they used to have it. So he could have started out that way. She could have come from the same background or the same Baradri. She has updated herself and has had some dealings on Modi Street. She has also shapeshifted for Kabir Gupta's mother, JAYA.ADVANI. और उसके पास जो कुछ भी spoils है, which is called daja, they're like treasure. She's the one who's responsible for it. She's currently at X, or there is a recording of it on Twitter, which they're trying to hide, converting it into X, which should not be hidden. Actually. The amount of stealing that has happened, first and foremost, if it is Madder who it is at Elon's X, फिर तो Grimes told you their agenda is communism, Marxism. That is not going to be prosperous for the world. But you try putting problems onto people, that also in this cheap manner that you have already expended it in our setup here, not even being part of our setup, but rear door entry with face change. Picked up probably from the king's kingdom of the UAE. He's the only trillionaire who didn't have to answer to anybody. And he, with his money, not being answerable to anybody, could have commissioned some kind of research connected to cloning, God only knows what. It is his kingdom you have stolen from, is what I understand. You think you have won it. Mr. Modi says he's bringing his trillions here to India to make India a $1 trillion economy. Trillions ke trillions bhi hove, ek din that is going to run out if you don't have the ability to earn your own. Added to it, if it is blood money and bad karma, there is no chance you can get ahead. The king commissioning some research which ended up in the hands of the laborers, how the king would have used it and how the laborers used it. They are two different things altogether. So blood money, bad karma, bad seed sown just cannot give you a good return. No matter who you are and no matter how much you think you have empowered yourself. No matter how deep your cabal and caliphate and your criminal network is. No matter how it is. तो दाजा वही है चोरी का माल. The daja is the treasure, stolen wealth. How did what I dreamt connect to this situation? Perhaps what my dream was saying is how your mother has a replica. Your sister has a replica. That way, Madder entered Kabir Gupta's setup, Subhash Gupta's setup, Akhil Gupta's setup, played the role of the mother, and from there only unscrewed lots of things. घर में घुस के मार गए. लेकिन टेररिस्ट को नहीं, होम ग्रोन इंडियंस को. Whether it is the Gujarati merchant household, the Banya Gupta household, that is the only connected with my home. And okay, for whatever reason, we are able to express it to the larger community for their own well-being. So what happened in Hindustan, where Punjabi Sindhis ran to locations around what became India later on, leaving behind a lot, just depends. In my grandfather's case, he had plenty that he had to account for. In my mother's case, her father was always working in a corporation, in a corporate. So it took him 6 months to join his wife, who had just delivered my mom, and restart life here. My grandfather planned it in advance. So how many Indians have already sold their assets and moved abroad? They are of the position of my grandfather. The ones who will, for whatever reason, we don't know what this guy is going to spew on whom, last minute just pack up and leave. They will be of my mother's position, or then those who just had to leave behind so much and start life somewhere else. What they did in Hindustan to make it Pakistan and India, they're going to do in India. But this time the game is not, they will try to hide it behind religion and language, but people are not going to be fooled once they understand the concept of cloning. Now it is the same bunch of miscreants who are wanting to grab assets, pushing those who earned their assets out of their own assets on the back of open massacre, maybe making people free. So the problem actually is what the Marwadi community, the Gujarati community, the homegrown Marathi community, those who did not know or did not indulge. So we're talking about the rich people. We're talking about people who have always been in India before the partition even happened. Primarily the Gujarati crowd, the Marwadi crowd, let's say decent Marathis, the South Indians, wherever you are, they have already figured out that the bottom of the pyramid is the maximum. Everywhere they have plugged their people. On the back of the massacre, either you will be killed or you will be thrown out of your own assets by dint of you fleeing from the country. You have never dealt with this before. Yet it is very possible you will be dealing with this the way the Sindhis Punjabis had to deal with it when Hindustan had to be divided into Pakistan and India because of the massacring on that side of today's border. ये वही करने वाले हैं यहाँ पे. The ones who were able to preempt it with lots of wealth and lots of connections are what my grandfather did in those days. You did this time in the last 10 years. The rest of everybody who will be fleeing, either massacred or they flee from massacring, leaving behind property, is what will happen with a community that has never gone through it ever before. But I am assuring you of one thing as an outcome. Those who grab on the back of slaughtering, massacring, and grabbing assets they themselves did not earn will not ever be prosperous going forward. And they will not be. They will not ever be. In fact, Pakistan's problems are not even 1/100th of what this lot now will go forward after this. सच्ची और सच्चाई से बोल रहे हैं. You know, we got Shani over there, we got Shirdi Sai Baba there. We're talking based on how we have come back. While Miss Madder and Huri was talking her own shit. आज फ्राइडे है ना, तुमने कुछ प्रोग्राम बनाया है? फ्राइडे का प्रोग्राम करती है. एवरी फ्राइडे शी गोज क्रेजी. You sow poor seeds, you will only get poor returns. The Brahmand cannot support you. You need the Brahmand and the lit part of the Brahmand to support you. If your debts are so high, but you refuse to pay it, but you want to make more debts on the back of previous earned debts, and you will just stop at nothing. In fact, you fall further into more quicksand. The Brahman cannot pull you out because the lit realm has rules and regulations. That council has rules and regulations benchmarked against which it gives you the outcomes. So just as a small example before you go on a rampage, just to open your eyes, थोड़ा तुमको बता रहे हैं, so knowingly you take your action. Okay? उसका जो reaction है, you can't even imagine what it's going to be. Whereas those, okay, temporarily you go through a tough time, they're in an okay place. They were in an okay place, they are in an okay place. Little time, it may be little haywire, but ultimately them and their future generations are on the by dint of their own hard work and their own rewards of good karma cutting by you, they will still keep progressing. You understood what I'm trying to tell you? Wide eyes open, eyes wide open. You got my message loud and clear, what I've told you? Jada is fatso. You are shape-shifting for Modi government, in and out of Modi government matter. As I said, the nexus is the shape-shifters in the Modi government. Trump के क्रम्प्स जो तो उसको क्रम्पल करने गया है, कीड़ा के बैक पे तुम्हारी बरादरी से, योर कम्युनिटी फ्रॉम केरला, musk melon, melons on the chest, bandaged nicely, tightly, to look like an oversized man. So this bunch of Easters connected with going rear to entry into people's homes for the daja, pleasure earned by other people. They spread themselves into Putin's camp. 10-10. काला तो चेहरा है, वाइट वाइट बना दिया है. White face Vladimir Putin, born in poverty. Okay, he learns his way in the KGB. But then he gives back to Russia also. Now he has developed it so much. This brown 10 of them who've gone there are spending his hard work, his money, also destabilizing his military. India thinks on the back of it you're going to be a superpower. It's a laughable joke if that's how you think. Whereas you have gone into the Hindus' homes, massacred so many people, no one's even done their last rites because you put clones in over there. Connected with activities of stealing research from the Middle East kingdoms. Now you've gone to Trump to make it crumb. Musk melon at Elon. Melon Musk straight out of Kerala. कीड़ा also केरला गया है ट्रम्प बनने. यहाँ पे मोदी स्ट्रीट पे जो केक का नाम सीख रही है वो भी केरलाइट. मैडर बनी है वर्षा एक टाइम पे. कोश भी बनी है दूसरे टाइम पे. बर्दीला को चलाया है इसी ने. Either Kabir's wedding or Akhil's wedding, both of them are dead. Yet we have a Kabir Gupta and an Akhil Gupta, but they're not the same. They're not the original Kabir and Akhil Gupta. Varsha could not stay more than 1 day or 1.5 days, either for Kabir's wedding or Akhil's wedding. The excuse was that her baby needed to be shown to a doctor on an emergency level. Back at Bombay, the wedding of Kabir Akhil was here in Bangalore. So we were put up by some version of Koshi auntie at her Brunton Road home. Varsha was acting pricey. Then Varsha had a huge attitude which my sister generally under normal circumstances does not have. So she paid packs and runs off. My question is, did you run off madder, making the excuse of the baby because you had to shape shift either for Shambhav E or for Koshi Gupta? The woman who said, "You are my enemy," with eyes blazing in the Gurudwara was the real JAYA.ADVANI, my father's sister, or was it madder? My father's sister cannot have bent backwards getting all my dresses done, having parties for me, with my mother in the house, going out of her way trying to make our life, better because she doesn't have her daughter. She's only producing sons and she wants to have a daughter. She's very fond of Trimona and Pramila, her older sisters, 2 kids. So as much as she, loves them, she has given us a lot of love from infancy, whether me or Varsha. No, it's a fact. How can I become her enemy? लेकिन मैडर जो केरलाइट है, शेप शिफ्टिंग तो उसने किया है. Is she the one who tells Sarah, because her father is a diplomat and he's actually from a good family? She's from a very good family. Akhil is not good enough for you. Do not marry Akhil. But the couple insists that they're going to get married. Had Madder entered Koshi Gupta's setup, which year? The fact that this crowd from Kerala has entered our Sindhi household, it goes back to the 80s, late 80s. After that, they've never looked back. One by one, they have plugged different people in different places, not even in our network, bringing in the underworld for the merchant household. The Gujarati merchant household has nothing to do with you, Keralites. Don't talk to the Hindu community promising them everything, but using that platform actually to destabilize them only, the Hindus and the rich ones. You have played a filthy game. And it is your community that has gone to the Middle East initially as the labor class. वहाँ पे ओवर द बॉर्डर किसके साथ हाथ मिलाए? नियत जो है तो खराब. फिर हैंडशेक किन किन के साथ वहाँ पे करे, फिर उसको यहाँ पे कैसे स्प्रेड करे. I am not your relative. Even if you have shapeshifted into my home, I am an Advani. You made a mistake in all the confusion, thinking you got rid of me. For whatever reason, we are dumb, but we got left behind. We are the Advani. And I can smell the Advani, and that who's pretending to be some part of the Advani bloodline. It stands out like a sore thumb, who's not. Okay? Except when we look at our cousins and all who are wearing the face of the cousins, we say something is weird, but then it is our cousin. It is possible it can go. But when my pendulum says no, my cousins have been done away with, then foolish Keralite, just wearing the face of people doesn't make you relatives. It just makes you a very poor quality of people. Alright? Know your fucking place. You want the money, you're stolen, leave it. My community is more than capable, like many others of other communities who have a proven acumen with good karma. Wherever the community that proven acumen from the past without spoiling karma and doing wrong to other people has been able to prove itself time and time again, yet once again they will do it in the future. Nasib bhi usko support karega. Destiny also will support. But you, whenever you have done bloodshed, stolen, wanting to bring and make other people fall because they've done their atmic hard work and so they grow. It makes you burn. Whenever you have stolen and massacred and grabbed, lied, cheated, manipulated, then by birth you know what you get. Then you sit and cry, but now you made it a zillion times worse than it ever was in the past. So you will continue on your journey, we will continue on ours. That's all the messages that I want to give you. You know, this is supposed to be a Dorji. The Dorji is something connected with the northeast. She has gone everywhere and I don't know what she has done. She has shape-shifted. I think in this case, I don't know whether she comes from the northeast background, because the Dorji is known for the northeast people with Buddhism. तो मैडर ने खुद को शेप शिफ्ट करके बुद्धिज्म सीखने गई थी, and then she acts them only by plugging in her duplicates into those places connected with communism. You better be careful because it is not what it seems. I never ever thought of the northeast community for whatever reason. So you know what they habitually do? I gave you the example of Satya Sai Baba's ashram. I gave you the example of Amritanandamayi Mata's ashram. So Dalai Lama's ashram is huge. It's got a huge following. I never thought of it. She would have shapeshifted into that community. Whatever she does, the way her and her community, the way they do things. What did I tell you? What does she require? She needs a place that influences people. She needs to grab and put her people into places that influence a community. They fool everybody. Try and understand it is the anti-God. Not that the Dorji is the anti-God, but that is teaching its people something that is Zen. It is a huge influencing factor to a huge community. Does the Northeast have lots of fighting happening in it? Infighting happening amongst themselves? Civil unrest? This is the reason. She has shapeshifted, used a place of influence and given some wrong teaching, either jabbing people or then giving them the wrong teaching. She has done it in South India. And not her entirely, but the community she is connected with. So then another place of influence is the Dalai Lama's setup. If you know more than the Dalai Lama's setup, anything that is influential, has money, is comfortable to stay at, she will have gone to mess with it. Plugging her people in over there, clones, and then changing the way, what we call the ashram, how it functions, twisting some of the teaching, which is detrimental to the population on the whole of that section. उसने शंकराचार्य को क्यों छोड़ा है? I'm not sure. Whether she left him also or she didn't leave him, I don't know. Whether she plugged her people or didn't plug her people also, I don't know. All I'm saying is the Shankar Mutt is a very simple place. Opulence is not much over there. Work is too much. So even if it is the Mutt Adipati, which means it is the head of the Mutt, the amount of work that he has to put in, in return, the kind of lifestyle he has, which is a very simple one. The robes he wears, where he sleeps, how he stays, doesn't have much glitter glamour to it, making it very difficult for the infiltrators to infiltrate. Whenever they plug their people in, they need to plug their people in places which are convenient for their stay, not so tiresome on them, and has many volunteers to do the job for them. In Shankar Mutt, the Shankaracharya himself does the pujas. He has to be very knowledgeable. If you realize how many times in a day he will do the puja, no matter where he is at, he has to have all the knowledge. Matter and her company don't have the ability to have all that knowledge. Then to live the hard life of the Shankaracharya without the opulence, without the luxury, only hard work, they get scared. So it is possible she did not infiltrate the Shankar Mutt. Up to which point I don't know, but if they wisen up, then not for the opulence, but to keep them quiet, she will attack her group of people, but they are one of the last few left. So she will attack. But in that attack, it will be an open attack. Not the way it was dear to entry in the other ashrams, where slowly she could unscrew things. She, not her alone, but her baradri, her community, who have done lots of hiring. They are mostly people born and brought up below the poverty line. or then who have worked at the bottom of the pyramid in homes and corporates. तुम काम करो, क्या झूठ क्या बोलना है? इतना तुमने ऊपर नीचे किया है कि इतना बेशर्मी से तू बात करता है, हैं? So anyway, this girl has shapeshifted and axed. I have a feeling things in the northeast area. What your unrest in the northeast is, you need to really figure out the why. नॉर्थ ईस्ट के ऊपर तो नेपाल भी है, बांग्लादेश भी है, this girl has created too much mess, and yet we have people over here who glorify her. It's very sad you have ever shapeshifted, if you have ever shapeshifted as any of my family members. You and your bloody family. It could be a Max X. Madder Max X. Dorji TM. In full of India, the civil unrest or then whatever the problems are in the northeast, check it if the same thing has till date. Going forward, it is going to be the same thing all over. इसने प्लानिंग तो भरपूर तरीके से किया है. If we do a comparison in the last 15 years, max civil unrest has been where in India other than Kashmir? Max civil unrest has been where? So according to my understanding, because you know what, when Dalai Lama and I think it was who calls himself Satguru, when they went in, he went in for something to do with his brain. Dalai Lama also fell sick. He went away to America. That time I was given a vision in and around that time for Dalai Lama to do with this balcony of mine and his 2-second interaction with Shirdi Sai Baba. Nothing about Sadguru, but for Dalai Lama and a 2-second interaction with Shirdi Sai Baba here in my balcony. But before that, I was given that dream where the Dalai Lama is told along with Sri Ravi Shankar, go down and teach. Where it was Satya Sai Baba who was sitting over there. Right? So you just do it is now history. You just do a study, where has there been max civil unrest, then you will understand what this means. Madder, you have to be very careful of her. She is very charming. She is a shapeshifter. She shapeshifts in and out of different roles. कभी हमारी आंटी बने, कभी एक्ट्रेस बने. ओरिजिनल एक्ट्रेस नहीं, वो एक्ट्रेस के लिए काम करे, वो एक्ट्रेस के लिए काम करे. From her mouth, she is very sweet. She'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. But in that only she'll screw you over. It's not called tough love. It's called killing with love. You understood? She's very good at it. ये हर किसी से टैक्स लेती रहती है. शी कुड बी शेप शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम मोदी ऑल्सो एट टाइम्स. मोदी का स्किन पहन के, बॉडी सूट पहन के, शी कैन डू दैट ऑल्सो. टुडे द बॉडी सूट इज now, like just buying a mask. When we used to wait at the traffic signal in our car, the red signal, then these vendors come to sell things, balloons, masks. So it is so available. That prosthetic and that silicone, latex, those get-ups from the power days of 2006, 7, 8, whenever they did it, that was also too late. They've really, that technology they have बढ़ाओ it much better. So connected with the ENT that we got last time, the ears, naak, nose and the ears, mouth, smile. Yesterday to do with R Madhavan, and then that one with those rat teeth. Same R Madhavan, except when you see his teeth you come to know, नहीं ये वो नहीं है, ये कोई और है. They get today to straighten your smile and get a good set of teeth. How difficult is it? In Bombay, every street corner has some dentist who gives you the smile. तो ये हमेशा सोचती है हर किसी को टैक्स कर रही है. It is on the back of her community saying that they have toiled in places like Kuwait, Dubai, Bahrain, worked in the oil rigs, worked in the labor class, built Dubai. So they feel that they built everything for everybody else. So haq se inka, by right, by birthright of having put in all the hard work, wherever they see money, it is their right to grab, because they did the toiling of building something for somebody else on very low wages. That's the problem. So then nobody knows how to run their mills, industries, manufacturing units better than the Marwadis, Gujaratis, Banyas. Hiring who? So they have to be very careful. This lot is going to go on a rampage. It is no Muslim. Amongst them there could be the impoverished, some lot of a Muslim, some Baha'i, some atheist, some Hindu, some Buddhist, some Catholic, etc., etc. The only thing that binds them together is that they were born in poverty. Ancestrally, their ancestors worked on low wages, so they have come to collect on behalf of the honor of their mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers. This is how their movement is. I think you already know about it. So the South Indians should not actually go on a tangent connected with religion and language. I don't know if you have ever been exposed to this kind of stuff. So it will be better for you to prepare yourself reading about how Hindustan became Pakistan and India. What the Sindhis and the Punjabis and whoever had to flee from them, from that side, to what later on became India, or then almost immediately became India, what all happened. To understand the mindset, but to understand that this mindset took advantage of those in India and put them to use, and are going to replicate that same activity they did over there. They're going to replicate it over here, except that now in the confusion, it is on the back of what I just said, vis-a-vis those who built their businesses and then paid these guys whatever the market rate is, and they generationally now are coming to collect tax. You can thank Mr. Amir Khan also in his Lagan and his Satyamev Jayate and thugs of Hindustan, Suraiya and whoever else. and Hindustan Times. Hindustan Times is supposed to have maximum ISI linked agents. Okay, what is Ajax? This used to be a lot over there. She used to keep doing stuff with Ajax even on my computer through 2004, 5, 6. We used to see it all the time connected with our account and at Forge as well. Ajax है क्या? What is Ajax? It is something, some language in the computer. So when the biotech war happens or the bio war happens, understand that if Madder knew all this Ajax in 98, she and her community learnt all of this and trained the next generation everywhere that they infiltrated, then you can as good as say that this girl is connected with terrorism. And इसको एक upper hand है cloning के कारण. She can shapeshift for Shamlu also, she can shapeshift for Koshi Gupta also. Koshi Gupta, my aunt, my father's sister herself has done home science. She is not capable. Varsha also is not good in her studies. I was not good in my studies. My grandfather doesn't need to study. He's got land. Habitually, it's given on rent to the same bunch of people. They employ their people and money comes in. It is 400 to 600 acres of land. Kabir was not good at studies. Akhil was not good at studies. Umesh was not good at studies. So when we are not good at studies, my own aunt, I have little autism is what I am told. My aunt also could have been autistic and dyslexic. She has finished her schooling in JB Petit, but then she's gone for home science after that. She's very good, very creative. अब वो उतना करती है. This is why she used to do all the dresses for me, Varsha. She's very home, oriented, husband oriented, children oriented, kitty party oriented, bunch of circle of friends oriented. वो Ajax नहीं कर सकती है. तो Madder, when she's shape shifting for Shamlu, shape shifting for Koshi Gupta, she's a different quality altogether. The one who told me you are my enemy at the Gurudwara, where Akhil has gotten married to good Sara. सारा को उतार के Madder सारा भी बन सकती है तो घटिया इंसान. Maybe Madder was angry with the face of Koshi Gupta in the Gurdwara because my cousin Akhil was marrying Sara Kaur, whose father is a diplomat and an interpreter to Japan, and she's from a very good family. So I almost immediately become the enemy. Or maybe I am the enemy, she just can't contain herself. But my aunt Koshi Gupta would never say Jaya am Koshi Gupta's enemy. Not ever. वो सिर्फ क्लोन करे. That Gurudwara is where, here in Bangalore at Alsur, where Akhil got married. Now because, no, she's horrible. After the marriage happened, we went with the newly married couple, we went to the RMV, Raj Mahal Villas 2, where they have their bungalow God's gift. Or purposely you took a funeral procession out when the bride is coming to the home. Why? Because the bride was from a good background. She plays all these filthy tricks. They are not to be trusted one bit. ये matter जो है, she will screw you over, she will fool you, और फिर तुम्हारे resources को use करके, she is not alone, she has a full network of them, one worse than the other. This is the woman due to whom my 5-month marriage had some shit connected with her. Useless energy. Pretending to be the ex-husband, except वो जो बदबू of the energy इतना भरपूर तरीके से बदबूदार है कि बोलूँ तू है कौन भैया? You're not looking like my husband. There's something wrong with you. तेरा जो background है वो है क्या? Who's brought you up? For somebody in a newly married to talk like this towards the end of the marriage, माना कि he must have really stood out like a sore thumb. Not good at all. अब इसने कितने ऐसे लोगों को कहाँ कहाँ प्लग किया है? You need to question it. Wherever this woman and her useless lot of people, you must understand, if habitually they have worked on low wages and built big things and worked for very rich people. जया दासवानी के घर इसी के रिश्तेदार ड्राइवर तो नहीं था, chauffeur driver. Miss Huri, the way you want me to be your chauffeur? You useless Tamil Nadu byproduct. Yeah, Andhra Pradesh byproduct. No bloody Sindhi worth the salt to talk that shit. क्या है? तो Sindhis like to do little charity. बोले okay, the staff of our home has their children. Make sure that their children go to better schools. क्या पता? With that kind of activity, turn on the daughter of the house only called JAYA.ADVANI and plug your own daughter over there. The way you did it for Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj. What is your thought process on low wages? If you can build such big things for the rich people with your hard work, they are only reaping the money of it. Get rid of them, grab their assets and become them. You know the ropes of building it. Yes, तो उसी टैक्स का तुमने इतना बड़ा गेम इतना घटियापन के साथ खेला है. You talk whatever shit you want. तुमको अब लाइन पे लाना नसीब, ये शिरडी साई बाबा, ओ शनि, यमा और नरक, यही कॉम्बिनेशन तुमको लाइन पे लेके आएगा. घटियापन का एक हद होता है, तुमने उसको ना लाइन क्रॉस बहुत पहले किया है. Not sure what this is. I don't know if it is adore or it being the thread. Why mad Ajax Dora TM or Tom? Using Ajax, she has done initially lots of damage in lots of places. Using Dora जो होता है tying with a Dora, which means a thread which ties things together, like the sui is the needle, dhaga is the Dora, which is the thread. To weave together things the way Ankur Patodia, you want to tell me how your GTN textiles में weaving कैसे होता है? So you were talking about weaving and you were talking about thread and the intertwining of thread and how the weaving process happens in your, not yours, but the original Binod Patodia and original Ankur Patodia's GTN textiles. So through technology and through cloning and through the jabbing needle, plenty of things have been stitched together by you people, but most of it is lies. One thing happening in reality, another thing in the schizophrenic, bipolar, depressed maniac style of doing things. Ankur though said no, he takes medicines for depression from a London doctor like Madaroni. When a person is suffering from depression and is a depressed maniac or then bipolarism, हथियार वो किसी का भी कभी भी कर सकता है. It's just what gets triggered in their brain. They look very good, they are very charming, they speak very intelligently, they have the ability of charming everybody. Only their closest people know what they are capable of doing if triggered. In most cases, there was a lady called Flavia. Her husband also suffered from depression and he was a depressive maniac. When he gets triggered, how he gets triggered, that is anybody's guess. But if he gets triggered, he can kill her also, which he has harmed her, according to my mom, many times. Because something he cannot control in his brain. But if that kind of brain is hiding in a place of grab power, wearing the identity of somebody else, of power, splashes money around like there is no tomorrow and there are plenty of takers for it. So when they are not caught up with by anybody, plus they are shape-shifting in and out of positions of other people's identities and splashing money around and buying loyalty. And they dare to call it what? Welfare of humanity. Then when such a personality is triggered and needs to vent in some way, that reading 2-3 readings earlier which was talking about bones connected with New York, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Ooty, the tent, that is the UAE, Elon Musk, some of his people who have shapeshifted for him have said you don't know how many people have died. He has actually in Joe Rogan's interviews, the earlier ones, has confessed everything to you. It is for you to understand. लेकिन अगर तुम्हारा मैटर वहाँ पे है और उसके रिश्तेदार ऐसे ही हर चीज़ को कवर करते हैं, they are laying blame through technology on people who have nothing to do with the situation. She's under my hands, she has connected herself to my body, she wants to change location, fool the authorities. Her efforts are that only, a useless community of shit, crappy that they are, in key positions, shape-shifting for key positions, help her in her effort. But then in that, can you imagine उसने devastating acts किन पे किया है और किस तरीके से? You'll have to catch up with them and catch them. So anyway, Tom is maybe that guy who I saw in the dream with my father's face. He doesn't question her at all. He is left with the traffic signal starting. It's an 8-lane high-speed traffic. There's a sea nearby. I'm guessing this place is somewhere near your Uran or then, that expressway going to Lonavala. Somewhere between, you can say, the Toll Naka or that thing which goes to Vashi and then Vashi to the Kuperkeen and whatever, I don't know. Somewhere over there is like the sea again, which I have not ever been to. but those who live in that area know what it is. They'll be able to quickly divide that area. You need to go to Uran too, because that's what I got, right? It is this entire road, Ray Road, Sivri, all the way to your toll before Vashi, that Chembur before, and then beyond it, all those places must be Palm. वहाँ पे Palm Beach है. Is it a Palm Beach in Neral? To that place, and then to Uran. Then wherever the sea is, where there is the 6-lane, 8-lane, like an expressway, and the traffic all starts. And in that only she tells the man to get off. He's a well-built man, fair, fluffy guy. He doesn't even question her, like he's a robot with no thought, blank. He actually gets down and starts walking. If those cars knocked him off and her work was done by somebody else, then that's what happened. Not that I saw it in my sleep. But because the word Tom is given here, I'm talking about it. Now, how did Ajax play a role in it? What exactly is Ajax? What can Ajax do? That you ask the technical people. Okay? But that is old now. अब जो AI है वो अलग है, जो यूज़र इंटरफेस है वो अलग है. ये जो सटा फटा ड्राइव जो झूठ बोलता रहता है, पता नहीं क्या करता रहता है, बकवास करता रहता है थ्रू टेक्नोलॉजी, and he's putting everyone off the hook. That is why I am saying the armies and the police need to divide themselves and go to a place where they think only with their own brains. या बकवास सुनना ही नहीं है. That Sata drive, they think they got 400 years in place, that's bullshit. You got 10 kalpas in Nark in place. You have underestimated your own capabilities. असली जो आउटकम्स हैं हमसे पूछो. Now, I don't know if TAM is something connected with the press or broadcasting industry or advertising. वहाँ पे भी उसने कुछ ऊपर नीचे किया है. Rear entry into some ad agencies. Using, of course, our network and our kind of network, keeping us on a back foot, pushing herself everywhere and then killing silently, replacing silently, and then playing around with everything and basically wanting all businesses to fall. That's it. इसकी फेवरेट फ्रेंड होगी वो जो कश्मीरी इशू चलाती है. फॉर एवरी ड्रॉप ऑफ ब्लड ड्रॉप वी विल व्हाट ड्रॉप योर टीयर्स, ऐसे बोलती है. So as I said, तमाचा जो होता है, it's a tight slap. So maybe they have moved all this data to X, and that is the reason why he's bought X. So he uses it as his private server. MD is the bio part of it. X is the technology part of it. The brain and the neural networks and the database and the grouping is in the hands of something connected with your Katrina in Europe, connected back to the Kashmiri issue. So for the thread required to slap those they want to slap for being born in good births, giving employment to those who were employed on low wages. There is a MD involved. Not MD Javed who comes to do delivery of water at my home, not him. His name is JAWED. It doesn't mean Javed. That's very stupid. When Lulu supermarket is called and asked, please deliver some water cans, there is one person who does the delivery. He's Mr. MD Javed. JAWED. You don't convert it into something else. Don't do that. That's very cheap. Yet that you will misrepresent on things like this the way you do it. Because you want to slap me in my face? Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your time. You have grossly underestimated the situation and grossly misunderstood it. असली आउटकम कुछ completely अलग है और एक दूसरे जगह से जिसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग बियॉन्ड योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. सो लेट्स जस्ट लीव इट. डिस्कसिंग दिस टॉपिक is talking about whichever MD doctor connected with Neuralink, connected with Texas, connected with Tesla, connected with Elon Musk's scam, with Matter, shapeshifting, or Matter's community of shapeshifters, shapeshifting over there, connected with Trump, the crumb, going forward. Kira is this girl's relative only. इसने कितना डैमेज ऑलरेडी किया है, if you don't understand it, and where they have taken it to Vladimir Putin's camp as well as to Trump's camp as well as to Elon Musk's camp, then I guess you're asking for it. Tamacha means a slap. Door means the thread which joins things together. Connected with X, connected. X is not my company. It is X Twitter, which is now Elon Musk's company. He sold it to OpenAI for some money to give it some valuation. He did an internal trade itself. The MD is primarily the doctor component connected with the brain of the database that is with them, or then how many people who were either jabbed, like Tamil Nadu ke unginat, from priests to people who are in the tin sheds, to all the people in Bombay, how many of them they have managed to jab so that they become free robots to have a temper tantrum, to get irate and then cause civil dissent, like what happened to me yesterday. I went out, you showed the number 6 and the number 8 and played the bell sound, and it triggered something off in me. So we were a great inconvenience to our neighbors. But now imagine that in the tin sheds, where there are no locks and there are no private spaces, and on the roads of very populated cities like Bombay, Delhi and Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and think what you can get on the back of it. ये जो है ये यही डोर है, एजैक से कनेक्टेड, ब्रेन एमडी से जुड़ा हुआ. अकॉर्डिंग टू मी इट इज गॉट टू डू विद द डॉक्टर. Maybe they set this off with direct messaging as something. Look at this very carefully. This has lots to say. Generally, most people who are, if Earth's 60% of population, no matter what they do and how much they earn and where they live, are actually Om beings, it means that they're going to the higher realms. As I told you before, 60% of the world population moves into the upper realms of the Brahmand, the lit realms. And no matter what the situation is, most people of that quality are balanced and in an Om state. So they're truly Advait. They discharge their duties in life, do not get embroiled into other people's problems, manage their own journey in a Om state, and move on. But if those same people have been jabbed, woven together in a neural network, and are triggered by the MD or by that is connected with X and Neuralink, then that very same Om triggered, because the brain cells are triggered on a neural network connected with people who are agitated. Taking the neural network of somebody who is agitated and putting it on somebody who is Om, which is what they keep switching it around, is what makes the Om uncharacteristically of a character that they otherwise are not. Now imagine this playing out in the army, Indian police, on the roads, in the tin sheds. That's their first place where there is heavy, or then in the marketplaces where there's heavy population. The cars also go to the marketplace to do business. The vendors also come there. The guy with the hath gadi wala, or then with his basket, also is there. The normal middle class guy also is over there. The under, like let's say the ones under the poverty line also will go to the banya dukan in that marketplace and buy things that are cheaper. Primarily, it's a melting pot of everybody. Under normal circumstances, everybody goes through their business in a normal manner according to their capacity. Now imagine this place being triggered. What do you get? From the shopkeeper to the guy who's working in the shop, to the one who is rich and shopping at that shop, or the one who is not rich and shopping at that shop, or at the vegetable market, or in the meat market. Imagine, because this is what they are planning. The background architecture has been set in this manner. According to them, it is tax and tamacha for the honor of their ancestors who did all the hard work while you got rich, giving them paltry sums as their salary and wage. But I am assuring you something. Even if you shared half your fortune with them, there are many people from very good families who went out of their way to give better education so that there are people who can grow. You did not educate me, my father's business educated me. My father shares. तुमको जो बकवास तेरे दिमाग में connected with all the shit that you have done. You are an ace liar, that too I know from the time I was pretty young. How to deal with you, I will deal with you from the Brahmand. Shani is my witness, so is Shirdi Sai Baba. Your every half lie and manipulative tendency of shit, Pune, clerk, who has shapeshifted for Umesh Hingorani, NTR, and at some point in time JAYA.ADVANI also. तुमको बेल पसंद नहीं है? ए क्लर्क, प्यून, शेप शिफ्टर जो चेहरा बदलता है, किसी और का आइडेंटिटी लेता है बड़े बड़े घर में, और वहीं से कांडी करता रहता है पूरे सोसाइटी के अंदर, तुमसे बात कर रहे हैं. Keep the bullshit to minimum. You understood? तुम्हारा औकात क्या है? तू एक प्यून क्लर्क, जन्म से एक चीज, शेप शिफ्टिंग कुछ और, हमारे पीछे पड़ा है, हाइडिंग बिहाइंड आइडेंटिटीज ऑफ पीपल who were murdered and then replaced for, shape shifted for by you. You are going to be my boss. Fuck the bell, man. I'll use my mouth. आओ प्यून क्लर्क, एक जगह पे पैदा हुए काला कौआ, फिर जाके किसी और की आइडेंटिटी लेवे रामखोर काला कौआ, फिर शेप शिफ्टिंग करके जहाँ पे खावे वहाँ पे और भी लोगों को मारे, और तू सोचता है you're somebody, aren't you a bloody cheap joke? काला कौआ. So just be careful. You understood? You ain't seen nothing yet. Your bullshit and the bullshit you represent, benchmarked against Yudhishthira and the half-lie. Then you on a rampage, wherever you have gone, the manner in which you have gone, the amount of dissent you have created amongst those who did nothing to you except trusted you and could not see through the ugliness of you because you were wearing the mask of something that they were attuned to, respecting, loving, holding in high esteem. जहाँ जहाँ तू गया है तो यही करके ऊपर नीचे किया है. तो युधिष्ठिर ने सिर्फ खुद के चेहरे के साथ आधा झूठ बोला था, लेकिन उसको नर्क जाके थोड़ा टाइम बिता के जो उसने आधा झूठ बोला था उसको सीधा करना ही था. तो कंपेयर टू दैट, व्हाट आर योर डीड्स? यू काला कौवा, who has shapeshifted in the place of NTR as well as Umesh Shingorani, and then you have come to my home, spoken about not liking bells being rung on you and thinking you're the peon. That was 2009, 10, 11 sometime, or 13, 14, sometime that time, before and after my New Zealand. But the fact that Umesh's peon was known in 2003 to Travel Genie, 2004 Travel Genie, same problems like IOL. 4 people over there called out with links to criminals and terrorism linked organizations, but Vijay Bala over there very clearly states that IOL has good connections with the underworld of Dubai, but the press says Dubai doesn't have the underworld. Aishwarya Rai is no more in her body is what my pendulum says. Vijay Bala calls her a robot and a plastic doll and really degrades her with his talk in 2000 and early 6. तो कुछ तो दाल में काला फॉर श्योर है. तुमको हमको कुछ भी बोलना है और तेरा दिमागी हालत जो कुछ तुमको पकना है बको, लेकिन स्पिरिट वर्ल्ड से तुमको क्या मिलना है तुम्हारे घटिया करतूत के कारण, और तू एग्रीगेट आत्मिक रूप से क्या है? बोले नंगा नंगा, आत्मिक नंगा. इंडिविजुअली मेरा भी आत्मा एकदम नंगा, लेकिन हमने किया क्या है इतने 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 बिलियन सालों से? बिल्ली बिल्ली नहीं, ओ नहीं, सदियों से जो हमने किया है, क्या किया है? नंगा ही आत्मा बन के वहाँ पे खड़ा होगा, जो है वो है, उसका एग्रीगेट लेके भगवान हमको देगा जो हमारा अच्छा बुरा जो कुछ भी है. वैसे तू भी. बट इफ वी सी व्हाट यू हैव डन and benchmark it against Yudhishthira, which is supposed to be what is righteous behavior, and moving away from righteous behavior, what you get in return. He went through it to give you an example and to establish it as a law. तू समझता नहीं है तो क्या करे कोई? It is like in your love jihad, लड़का लड़की राजी क्या करेगा काजी. सेम वे रूल्स तो एस्टैब्लिश्ड है, तू उसको फॉलो करे ना फॉलो करे और तेरा प्रॉब्लम. भगवान क्या कर सकता है? रूल्स तो है हर किसी के लिए. जो फॉलो करे, सही कर्म करे, इज ओके. जो नहीं करे देन क्या करेगा भगवान? कांट डू एनीथिंग. तो बी ऑन योर जर्नी. Okay, either it is the direct messaging, Neuralink's doctor connected to Neuralink's subsidiary at SpaceX and Twitter for X. Okay. If we take out tamaja and we take out taja, so some doctor went and put one more dory on me, tying me even further into the crap that they're all about. When you like to provoke people by being cheap in your talk, hoping to get a reaction from them, making it an excuse as to why you should further do more wrong to a person you had already wronged and got a apt reply for it. Now my apt reply to you is going to be nark, from which you will not be released next 10 kalpas without laying a finger on you. That little that was done in reply to your bad behavior was so that we see what you are capable of doing. You तो went to town. अब हक से तुमको तुम्हारा जगह पे लगा देंगे without laying a finger on you. As I said, what happens over here is very limited, and you're lucky if it finishes here and now. It is truly foolish and unlucky if you're taking it with you into the afterlife. And foolish तो you are. वो जो चाबी है वो तुम पे अब खुलेगा नहीं once you go to your Mecca. Holiday time in your body here on earth is over. You get your home for all your deeds done. One living example called Yudhishthira, King Yudhishthira, and how he was dealt with vis-a-vis you. तू कहाँ भाग के जाएगा? There is nowhere for you to run. You can't, you do your own auditing, you will come to know. I am the only one person. और जो दर्जी जो हमको मिला है, एजैक्स जो हमको मिला है, और डॉक्टर जो मिला है, एमडी जो मिला है, एक्स का जो कंटेंट है, ट्विटर का कंटेंट है, वो जो स्टाई बुलाऊं, गोडाउन बुलाऊं, वेयरहाउस बुलाऊं, वो जो गरीब औरत जो थे उनका हालत, then my own sister and what she has told me, Sarah and what she has told me, all in the deep sleep state. तुमने तो किया है, सोचा है, nobody will find out. Yet there is something telling me what you have done. Now I am तो still limited in my body. तो unlimited conscience जो होता है ब्रह्मांड के अंदर with 60% of the lit realm, जहाँ पे आकाशिक skies recording होता ही रहता है every second. So it is not limited to me. It is unlimited to the entire population. यहाँ पे हम limited population, लेकिन हमारे ancestry तो है ना कहीं ब्रह्मांड के अंदर. कितने जन्मों के, कितने ancestries, कितना जो upper realm and lower realm. You are answerable for everybody and to everybody. Where will you run? Okay, why Dr. Dor Taza Ma'am X? इसने कांडी वहाँ पे कुछ किया है. something he has done in the background. He knows what he has done. It is connected with content on the SATA drive, like X, connected with the neural link, connected with technology, mixed with medicine. Now, I don't know if this is where OD comes in. If you realize OD also stacks an overdraft, manaki payment or something. This is how these people think. But the point is, Elon who is brought up the British way, in a place like Africa, will not behave like the labor class which needs to take the tax because their forefathers worked on low wages to build big empires. Or then those who would have worked at Elon's father's mine, if at all there ever was. So the miner will say, but I did all the hard work. He is selling the emeralds and he's making big money. Almost immediately, that family becomes the enemy of those on the wages working at the bottom of the pyramid. So this is why in the last 40 years, reardo entry, they have murdered galore. घर घर में घुस के सच में मारे हैं, जैसे बर्दीला बोले घुसना है, और मोदी भी जो मैडर हो सकती है, मैडर बर्दीला को चलाए, क्योंकि मैडर कोश गुप्ता बन के हमारे घर में छिप रही है, या शलीना बन के छिप रही है, या शामलू बन के छिप रही है, या शाम्भव ई बन के छिप रही है, या सारा बन के छिप रही है, बट ओनली शेप शिफ्टिंग, pretending to be somebody she is not by birth. Which point in time did Madder enter the Advani setup and Advani girls their marriages in other setups and start making things fall is what needs to be identified. Madder is crazy. If Madder, and I'm pretty sure she is definitely, her network is shape-shifting for Modi government, have sent some of their 10 people to Putin's government, Trump's government. Wherever you are seeing destruction, it is Madder and her network. The manner has been explained over here. It is a question of the tax to be taken and the overdrafts to be paid off. For giving them jobs, giving them wages, giving them salaries, and you being too rich on the back of their hard work and their ancestral hard work. Yes? If Shani accepts it, I accept it, because I am also at the receiving end of what Shani says is the way it should be. But if Shani doesn't accept it, and Shirdi Sai Baba doesn't accept it, then what he doesn't accept for me, or my part of it, or doesn't accept when it comes to you and your part of it, then you fall in line with it for it. और क्या बोलना है? I am a nobody. I myself am a receiver of my own birth. I only take it and hopefully live within it, finish it and move on. That's all I am good at doing. I am not good at anything else. I just feel कि हमारा जो भलाई है ना लॉन्ग टर्म उसी के अंदर है, तो हमको तो भलाई ही चाहिए ना. Why I should fool around with my own journey? It's tough enough now. और क्या टफ बनाना है? एक और है, one more. So if you look at the word OD, overdraft, tax and rod, you should understand, and tamacha, you should understand what they've been trying to do. It is the Keralite thinking. Then they have spread themselves to the Dalit category and other minority categories. Wherever they felt that you are marginalized, people have done you wrong, LGBT category, basically trying to find rights. फिर ह्यूमन राइट्स भी ऐसे बनाओ जो क्रिमिनल को सपोर्ट करे, और जो बर्थ के राइट्स है भगवान के घर से उसमें जाके थूके. Those are the times and how these people have functioned. On the back of everybody killing each other and fighting, who's the one person who gets left out and stays rich? Chalo, you kill each other. I'm waiting. I don't want to spoil my hands. You all kill each other. तुम लोग करो ना काम. I'm going to referee it and watch it. Who gets rich on the back of it? You tell me. The one who got you to fight. You all will kill each other. Everything will be freed up. The one who got you to fight created all the confusion, the booty on the back. That and her network are the only ones who will stay alive. That's Madder and Madder's network. Bolo chor or हरामखोरगिरी of a different level कि दाऊद डॉन को भी सिनाइल बना के तमिलनाडु से 10 लोगों को उठा के डॉन के बाप, और उसकी जो स्ट्रैटेजी है उसको भी बेटर करके ऐसे लोगों को खड़ा करे that they dare to be the cabal better than the cabal. That is how India is going to become the $1 trillion economy. Okay, so this is saying why Dr. Rod, ma'am का जो जात है, which means caste, station in life, standing in life, loose screw, had to actually demean people's birth. That also in a very, very sneaky, cheap manner. The reading is asking you, why were you trying to hit below the belt? Going to somebody's birth and upbringing. That also staying free in my home. Here what I understand is ये आदमी रियर्डो एंट्री हमारे घर आया है. This is the guy who's done Madder and her group of miscreants who steal, lie, cheat. You gave which ER? You garbage. Which ER was dumb enough to buy from you stuff you have stolen? That ER idiot should come and meet me. You are really, I think you need counseling. Your IQ level needs to be checked to understand whether you are fit for the job you have done. I'll give you a retest. Find out what are the exams you need to pass. Put you through those exams. You show me what marks you get. You don't pass it, then you yourself must be a clone. How do we know that you are the original? You haven't taken somebody else's position and then leveraged it like a criminal. So who is so stupid to do what you've done? I am a zamindar's granddaughter, landowner's granddaughter. I am an Advani. You dumb fuck. You cut off my grandfather's genes? That's your rod? Fucking around on a keyboard, thinking you're damn bloody fucking smart? But what God gave me, God knows. And it is beyond the body. As I said, I'm going to be naked as a soul when I go back to spirit. So are you. So is Katrina. So is Varsha. So is Madder. So is Koshi Gupta. Individually. Our individual journeys with the interplay of whatever, whenever there was an interplay, that's only an interplay. The action enjoined good and bad in the interplay is what we will all update our soul to make it up to date for all events we've been through billions of years, individually. So my aggregate, God knows what you will do with it. But if you cheated even little bit, foul play even little bit, thinking you very smart with wordplay, then you went to bigger things, bigger things, bigger things. And when you are naked in the soul, fog. Everything will catch up with you and thwack you like there's no tomorrow. That I'm letting you know way in advance. I don't play foul. I don't stab in the back. I don't take things that are not mine. I try not to lie. And I most certainly don't think I am somebody who should be slapping people in the form of tamacha, jo hai tamacha, rodding people with a rod, taking tax from them when I am a nobody to actually do so, fighting for my mother's honor. No, my mother's got her own soul journey. She's more than capable of putting you in your place, her way, in her time, which she will do. What was one more thing they talked about? Overdrafts. So anyway, he wants to fool around with my birth. So then this cheapness with which you have been talking about my birth, playing these fuck all sounds from my body, that is you as a doctor trying to hit below the belt. A woman born in a landlord's family, my father has done all the investments in my name and my sister's name. You're trying to pull me on the back of rumors you spread on the streets while your shits were hanging around in my home shape-shifting. And you want to change my status to something else. That's how great you are. Then you're like a cheap joke. Absolute haram-khor quality. बोलो तुमको अवार्ड मिलना चाहिए, cheapness personified. You should get an award for being cheapness personified. Anyway, शनि that is there, शिरडी साई बाबा that is there, उसको हमारा जो इस जन्म का जाते तो छोड़, उसको पता है कितने कितने डिफरेंट बर्थ्स के अंदर कितने कितने दूसरे फैमिलीज के अंदर पैदा होके कीड़ा मकोड़ा बन के ह्यूमन फॉर्म के अंदर कौन से जन्म से हम गुजरे हैं. गॉड नोज इट. तू तो बहुत छोटा है. गॉड ऑल्सो नोज दैट व्हेन आई गो टू माई लोका, तुमको कैसे हैंडल करेंगे. Let me ask her this is enough, and if there is anything else she still wants me to say. If not, then we can close this here. Okay? We'll just check. I'd rather just check with her. Hello? Are you with me? Okay, just give me 1 second. I want to remove my spectacles. Okay, are you with me now? I just wanted to know, you're okay with me closing this read now? What you wanted to say, did I convey it? Was it through the dream also in some way? I'm still not able to figure out who is it who was superimposed on me who was waiting to go visit the mother and the sister, which was supposed to be at a hospital, leaving behind the same, exact same, ditto, look-alike of the mother and the sister. So it was like a labyrinth. Now what I'm just, and of course the mother was my mom, Anita Sadrangani, Anu Sadrangani, ex Anita Advani, and then of course the last she was Mrs. Anita Merchant. My sister is Varsha Advani. She was born as Indu Advani. Then she went on to get married, don't know which version, as Mrs. Shalina Hundalani. She was supposed to have married Ravi. Now what exactly happened, I don't know. Up to which part is Varsha Advani, my actual sister, I don't know. Any which ways, what I am trying to understand is this event to come in the future. What I saw today, was it an event yet to come? This event has already happened in the past. The girl who was going to meet Anita and Varsha is not me. Yet you say I am the real Jaya? The real JAYA.ADVANI or Jaya? Am I Jaya Bena? Am I a clone who cloned somebody? So you say I am the real JAYA.ADVANI? No, so then why was I not going to meet Varsha and my mother, who went to meet the duplicate Varsha and the duplicate Anita? Tell me one thing, the two who were left behind, the mother-daughter who were left behind, that was the original who was left behind? Are you telling me that the one who had left behind the two were going to a facility where the clones were being created? The two who were left behind were the originals by birth? The person who was superimposed on me going somewhere to meet Anita and to meet Varsha in some hospital. At the hospital where this girl is supposed to go, we don't even know in which room. We don't know where we're supposed to go. There's confusion. So in that hospital, in that confusion, were the original Anita and Varsha? So this was high secrecy. The one who was going to meet the clones herself was not sure where she was going, as the rest of everybody else. They were going to see the clones of people that they were then going to replace with the clones. The crowd that I saw in my sleep were they all offering themselves to be changed into clones of that was seen left behind? What I saw today in my dream is a bunch of people who were offering themselves for a face change, a neural change, so that they can stand in for key people in key places after they have been edited in some way, and they wanted to know which hospital room, because they were subjugating themselves, offering themselves for a change. Is that what I saw today? Okay, anyway, the facility seemed pretty run down. It didn't even look good. Was it a very run down place where these people were treated to become the clones? Is the Texas SpaceX tin sheds a better outfit than what I saw in my dream today? Yet, is there a similarity in the two places? So there is a similar theme, except that SpaceX facility is better than what I saw. So something like SpaceX facilities is like a construction site with all those heavy machines and all. Even the lift and all that these people were waiting in to go to whichever room they're supposed to go, not sure where they're going. It seems to be something like a facility, but worse than SpaceX, but yet along the lines of SpaceX. So does it tie in with like what I was shown in my dream, the warehouse where they say, look how they have kept us? Are you saying these are human experiments and people who require money were signing up for this? Did I ever sign up for anything like this? Did a doctor come chasing my tail thinking I'm a duplicate because he created a duplicate of me and that girl disappeared or something of that sort? And then he's been on a hunt for whatever he created, and that's how he crossed paths with me, and he was not sure whether I'm an original or a duplicate, at least initially. Is that how these people got involved in my life? Now, is that doctor clear that I'm the original and not the duplicate? But then is my life in danger because he's aware that I'm the original and not his clone? Okay. Over here it says Dr. Rod Jat Ma'am X. Why did the doctor kind of use a baton to hit the caste birth background of, let's ask. Over here the word ma'am is referring to me. So, are you asking the doctor that why did he use a baton to destroy my background or my God-given birth? Is that what you're asking? And the doctor indirectly is connected with Elon Musk's camp, connected with Twitter and connected with the X or the Neuralink and Tesla and SpaceX. Primarily Neuralink. You're asking the doctor why did he use a baton via technology or then gene editing? OpenAI in any way? Why did he use a baton to destroy my background and my genes? To steal my genes? To edit it? To misrepresent me? That's what you're asking? Now, let the doctor be, because that's just a human effort. I want to know in the spirit realm, does it affect me in any way? Once I leave this body and go, do I get affected in any way in a bad manner? Does the doctor get affected in a bad manner going forward for his deed? This may be just one of the small deeds. Their crimes may be much more. Are their crimes bigger than just destroying my background God given? Do they have more sin on their head for which they will have to account in the future at a spirit realm? Are these the guys 1 to 10 kalpas going forward? They go to Rasatal, Patal, Nark and don't have enough earnings to even get a human form in the future or any form in the future? Is this the lot? The doctor also falls in that category only, irrespective of whether he is a doctor or not. Has this facility got anything to do with the Tata Group in any way? Does it have anything to do with the Shapurji Palunji group as well in any way? But are you telling me that that is done? You're saying it has got to do with the Tata Group? But it's got to do with the founders of the Tata Group? The actual core family? Nothing to do with the outsiders? Them and the outsiders? So this effort is to do with the Tata Group and okay, so it's got to do with Ratan Tata and Noel Tata. He becomes Elon. But somehow there is an overlap between the Tata Group and Tesla Group in some way. So does it bode badly for those at the Tata side of things, Tata Group, who have indulged in these activities? Is it bad for them going forward at an atmic level or the soul journey forward? Does it go against them actually then in the future? These guys are still alive, whoever you are speaking about. They're still in the body. Anyway, then they can rework their strategy. Tell me one thing, when you used to feed me the RTI cakes, did Tata do some charity in my case? That am I supposed to be thankful to them in any way? In case they looked after my well-being and I was picked up from some garbage can. Was I brought up with my father's business money? As a sole entrepreneur or a sole trader working out of Kani and Company and JAYA.ADVANI and Company, the home office while he invested in Tulsiani Chambers, 509 Tulsiani Chambers, and from the same builder Suman Apartments initially, which then moved to the 13th floor of Suman Towers in the same compound, same builder. So am I free from any debt to anybody? Because if I have taken charity from somebody and I don't know the full truth about me, then I must know the truth. So I grew up on my father's own earned wealth. Okay, so even Varsha grew up on my father's own wealth. Madder stole from my dad or created confusion in my dad's home, the Advani household. All the lies and the rumors, you can say Madder is a Keralite halfway. She's the one who lied and did all the confusion. Madder had an affair with anybody from the Tata group or then from the Shapurji Palunji group. Did she involve herself and rumor monger on the streets and then also have affairs with some very eminent people just to get her work done through them. So in short, did she primarily use them? Is she good at it? Is she the only one who does this? Get into the beds of people who, have something, she wants something from them. Does she have a full network which helps her doing the same thing? Boys and girls, just depending on what the preference is. On the back of it, do they bug facilities, get rid of people, clone them, or then just intercept calls and exchange calls, primarily create problems for everybody, and then inject themselves and their network into the society on the back of this kind of activity? Madder's journey going forward is a good one. When she leaves the body, will she be going to an okay loka? For all this foul play that she and her community have done, is Rasatal where they are going to? Have they earned Rasatal? Have they earned Sutal? Have they earned Patal? Have they earned Patal and Nark as a package going forward? Madder has shapeshifted for Koshi Gupta ever? Madder has shapeshifted for Varsha? Madder shapeshifted for Jaya? Did she shapeshift or did she misuse telephony of Jaya? Did she actually shapeshift for Jaya? Did she actually wear my skin and pretend to be me? Is my question to you. So let me just ask you again. Did she wear my skin and pretend to be me ever? Did she ever shapeshift as Shambhav E also? Tell me one thing, Madder's height is what? Madder's height is my height? Is Madder my height and Varsha's height? But Koshi Gupta, Shambhav E, Shamlu are taller than Varsha and me. My height is only 5'2.5". With heels, I can be about 5'5". So you're saying because when we go out, we wear our heels. When we wear our heels or Varsha wears her wedges, we become obviously 4 to 5 inches taller, 4 inches taller, 2 inches taller. So if I'm 5'2.5", even if I wear shoes which is about 2 or 3 inches tall, and before though I used to wear even 4-inch heels under normal circumstances. So almost immediately we become in and around 5'6" height. Madder used to take advantage of that. She's a tall girl or what is she? Under normal circumstances she's tall. So she could play around with height. For the tall people she goes flat. For the short people she goes flat. So Madder, you're saying shapeshifted for Koshi Gupta? She shapeshifted for Jaya? She shapeshifted for Varsha? She shapeshifted for JAYA.ADVANI? She shapeshifted for JAYA.ADVANI also? She shapeshifted for JAYA.ADVANI also. She shapeshifted for JAYA.ADVANI. She shapeshifted as Shamlu ever. So you're saying she shapeshifted for the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law? Was Shamlu ever madder herself? Is Shamlu the original madder? There is a girl called Shamlu Sharma, a real girl called Shamlu Sharma with her brother called Sameer Sharma. Is there anyone who really was Shamlu Sharma and Sameer Sharma? Shamlu Sharma got cloned for by Madder at some point in time. The original Shamlu Sharma with a sweet high-toned voice, high-pitched voice, the original girl, is she still in her physical body? Madder replaced the original Shamlu Sharma with her own network of nefarious people or her nefarious connections. Did Madder do the same thing for Kabir Gupta, the original Koshi Gupta's son? Like this, she's gone and fooled around in everybody's family. What about Shambhav E? Has Madder ever shapeshifted for Shambhav E? Would she have been the reason for changing papers in S.M. Krishna's speech in the external ministry? Is Madder and Huri friends? Are they belonging to the same bunch of miscreants? Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj has SL standing in for him. SL is a relative of Madder's or from the same community that shapeshifts and creates problems wherever they go. In this community is Kira for Kiran uncle, Kiran merchant, who's gone away to Trump to make him crumbs. Muskmelon belongs to Madder's community of shapeshifters and stealing and wanting to destroy everything, want everything to fall. Madder created problem for the Dorje community also through Dalai Lama's ashram and his teachings. Is she responsible or her community responsible for their civil wars that keep breaking out or the unrest that happens in their locations in the northeast area? Is she responsible for it? And if not her entirely, but her community? Has her community shapeshifted for Umesh Hingorani, NTR and JAYA.ADVANI, the same boy? Is he the boy who said he doesn't like bells being played when he has to be called? Is he the same boy that was referred to as Pune Umesh at Travel Genie? Was there any connect between these things over there? Okay, when it comes to Umesh and it comes to NTR and it comes to some time when JAYA.ADVANI suddenly talks about bells being played and he doesn't like people playing a bell to call him. I don't know where that came from. It was just a one-off sometime in 2009, 10 or 13. Can't even remember when. Was that a shapeshifter who had shapeshifted for NTR, for Umesh, and now he had in rotation come to my home to shapeshift as Mr. JAYA.ADVANI? Is it because of the work he did? Was he a clerk or was he a peon in some office at some point in time in the past? Or something of that sort? He is relative of Madder In short, what you're telling me, did Madder's relative ever work as a chauffeur in JAYA.ADVANI's home? Or something of that sort? So primarily to take the tax for her community, or the overdraft of all the work at lesser salaries for her community, Madder did what Madder did. She thinks she's setting things right for her community. They did all the hard work and the rich only got richer. Is that some kind of an ideology that triggers her and her community? And that's the reason why they think it is okay to just grab anything they get. So Huri also is part and parcel of Madder's community that steals. Was Huri speaking to me or Madder speaking to me in the night? When I woken up in the morning, somebody was throughout the night talking to me while I was sleeping. That was Madder or that was Huri? Who was that? Or a combination of the two? She's an illiterate woman for most part of it. Dumb as hell. Is Shani going to bring both of them to book very quickly? Them and their community of nonsense? Are they going to get caught soon? Are they connected with acts are they connected with the axing of lots of things which were good? All on the back of very foul play? Are they connected with very nefarious groups under various disguises worldwide? So can you say that they are connected to that KEBAL, Kebal, which is the Indianized version for the cabal, lending itself to Don's activity too in some way, bettering his activities of the past, and then connecting to maybe a bit of the PFI with its connects? Any connects to the PFI in any way? Were any of our nieces, nephews, next generation, were Madder good influence? Did she influence any of them in the wrong way, which is detrimental to their journey going forward? Has she created stops and gaps for them, for their journey going forward? Yet you say there is no connection to the PFI? There is any connection to the PFI? Connection to any terrorist linked organizations? Madder has connection to terrorism and terrorist linked organizations along with Huri. This is the third time I'm getting that on Huri. Huri's Ranka Park we got as Lanka. Okay, I'm going to close the session now. I think this has answered enough. Are you okay with me shutting the session off? Okay, thank you. I'm going to close the session now. Okay, I think this has answered it as much as it could. Don't play stupid sounds in my body. You're very stupid. You have come in the way of the nieces and the nephew. The way you put stops on me and derail me each and every time, you've done the same thing for the nieces and nephews. You derive great joy out of it. So as Shamlu, you have talked about attacking and destabilizing United Breweries. Except they're too strong for now, but somehow or the other you will find a way to get through to them. That is which year? 2013 is what you said on the phone. As Shamlu. As Koshi Auntie, you want people to get how much salary? You started that same tripping here in Purva Palm Beach. 20,000, 30,000, always discussing high level salaries, right, for your community. Yet Kabir Gupta, who's a shapeshifter, not even the original, in his house, where his drawing room is bigger than my entire home, he pays 2,500 to the domestic help who cleans his entire bungalow. You sure you know what you're doing? Other than creating a mess wherever you go, that also hiding, taking other people's identities. So anyway, we're closing the session now. It is about 1:20 in the afternoon. I will relax and watch some TV and upload this video also. I can only talk based on what the pendulum does. I remove these glasses and talk. If you have taken and shapeshifted for Kailash Hingorani, Ritu Malia's sister, Koshi Gupta, from that position, what all you could have got done? Kabir and Nakla no more. So what games you wouldn't have played from there? After all, my marriage was not a joke. That 5-month marriage was not a joke. But if you are my father's sister, then these things would never have happened. There's plenty that will come out, and when it does, don't know if there's anybody of half decency left to actually deal with it. Frankly telling you. Okay, so I'm going to close this at this.